What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys saw the last episode, it led right into this episode, and man, I pride myself on being transparent on this channel. I wanted to use this channel not only to help others understand what this field, medical device and pharmaceutical is, but at the same time too to kind of hold it as an accountability system for myself, as well as just let you guys in on what's happening and how I would handle the situation, because I'm sure other people would be going through these things. And just to give you guys an update, this might be a little bit of a slower, long kind of rant of a video for people that, maybe just want to bounce out. But my company is going through a restructuring right now. And what that means is lots of heads are going to start rolling. And in my last video, or one of my last videos, I talked about how, job hopping doesn't look so good sometimes, but sometimes as well, it's really good because you start getting paid what you're worth, and you find out what you're worth, and you go and make more money from those job hops. And that's fine and fun, and you start learning a lot of other things, and you really start developing and honing in your skills, and it makes you a better, in my opinion, a better rep. But eventually you gotta, is that hitching? Hitch? You gotta jump on a train, right? You gotta pick one. And that train eventually is going to be your long-term career train. And sometimes what that train looks like is getting in really well with some higher up people, like the VP. And I'm not talking your sales VP. I'm talking the VP of the entire organization, that gets down to the next director level and the global head of a certain division, things like that. You get really in and build great relationships with those people, because they're the ones that have reached the pinnacle, right? And if they get pulled to another opportunity, that means this train is now splitting apart and coming onto this track, and then another train is going to take over the one that you're on. This track over here, this person might ring you up and go, hey, we've got an awesome opportunity, and I love the way you work, and I want you to be a part of this opportunity. And it's you're getting another dream job, another dream role, and you're not even having to apply for it, because you already worked your ass off and proved to these people that you have built a relationship with that you are the right person. And that is the next train that you have to build. And I thought I was building that here at Novartis, and I still might be. I don't know. I'm just I'm making this as I find out information. And so again, my company reorganizing, which means a lot of heads are going to be rolling. And I mean, literally just cutting apart so many different divisions. And somehow the division that I'm in is one of the first ones that they are talking about, even though these things weren't supposed to be even talked about until months from now. So what am I doing so that you guys that are watching this video, if something like this starts to happen, what should you be doing? And quite honestly, what I am in the process of doing is not only updating my resume and working hand in hand with my manager, because awesome guy, he is just a plethora of knowledge, and more so he wants to see his people that he has mentored and trained succeed, compared to obviously keeping them in his coop. So what's awesome is, he's helping me, and he's helping me really revamp my resume that I hadn't worked on in 3 years, because I didn't need to. I thought I finally hitched the right train and attached myself to it, and I was gonna be on this train for a long time. Again, I don't know, maybe I will be, and I'm doing all these things for no reason. But the reason I'm talking to you guys about this is because, one, it's weighing on my mind, and two, you need to be prepared. I need to be prepared. I'm not safe. Right now, I'm probably top 5 in the country when it comes to my division, and I still don't feel safe. So what am I doing? Like I said, I'm updating my resume. I am networking. I am reaching out to people that are in similar divisions as me, different divisions, doing completely different things, and kind of seeing, what the water is like in those areas. I like to go to the beach and go to the same beach, but every once in a while you want to go check out a different beach, right? And see if the grass is greener. And you really got to figure those things out, because you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're thinking, let's say I was number one and I got my job. I'm going to keep my job, right? And then bam, you're out. Like, hey, sorry, dude, here's your severance package. Good luck. And you hadn't done anything else because you thought there's no way. Like, I'm at the top right now. Nobody's cutting me, and you get cut. So I don't want to fall into that situation. So I'm getting all my things, like I'm getting all my ducks in order and getting things prepared. And the other thing that I'm doing is killing at my job, at my current job. Like, I'm not letting this uncertainty and that word, whatever it is. Hopefully I'll put it right there or something, but I'm not letting it slow me down because, again, I got to figure out if I'm staying here. And if I'm staying here, what happens is the people that take their foot off the pedal in sales, and let's say I don't get cut and I get to stay here. If I took my foot off the pedal right now and it takes them 3, 4, 5 months to decide what they're going to do with my division, that's 3, 4, 5 months of me not really working that hard just because I'm in limbo, which is not okay. And then bam, hey, Pierre, you get to keep your job. And now my numbers are tanking and they're wondering why they even kept me while my numbers are tanking because I wasn't doing my job then. So not only am I doing my job fantastic right now, like I swear I'm crushing it. I feel so awesome. I'm like 135% to plan right now, and I'm gonna get a fat bonus. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna make all this like ambiguity. That's it. Bam, ambiguity is gonna make all of that just like kind of sit on the back burner because I'm crushing it and I'm going to make a good check and I feel good about that, and I'm identifying more patients that can benefit from this product and they are getting treated, and so I'm doing right by everybody, but then I also have to do right by myself, which is make sure that I'm prepared. So people that are like in this situation, if you can see that something is going to happen and it scares you, like, take action. Don't think that you are safe, and then don't wait until you get your severance and then start, updating your resume or something. Like, you should already have all that stuff done. You should already be interviewing, because guess what? Like, it takes some time to interview too. Like, it might take 2 or 3 months before you get an offer with one company, let alone like 2 or 3 if you begin like really interviewing and starting that interview process. And if that's the case, what's nice is you get to make that decision at that point. Like, let's say you don't get let go and you're in this interview process. You're at that fork in the road where you're deciding, okay, am I going to go jump off of this train and jump onto this one because of what's going on in this restructure? And is this restructuring done even though I got to keep my job? Or do I stay here because I did get to keep my job? But at least now the ball is in your court and you're the one holding it instead of you getting pushed out. But if you get pushed out, at least you've already started this process, because my next thing is, if I do get let go and I get that severance package, and let's say it's like 5 months of pay and whatever, that's 5 months that I can double my income. Because if I get let go and I can sign up with another company within like that, let's say that 1 to 2 week time frame from the time that I got let go, how amazing would it be to be making the salary I'm at now plus the salary that I will get from another job and doubling those up for almost a half a year? That's money. That's amazing. So that is what I'm currently doing. I mean, it kind of sucks because, like I said, I thought that I finally, attached myself to the right train, but this really goes kind of down to picking again when I have these conversations with people between device and pharmaceuticals. Like, in device companies, this happens, but it doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't. Like, I've never been a part of a division in device or have had friends in a division within device that have just been like, bam, hey, we're cutting everybody. I have seen acquisitions, which means there's this company over here, and then the bigger company comes and buys them and now has their product and all of their sales reps too. And I have seen at that point where either they just fire a significant amount of all the acquired sales reps, or they kind of look to see who's doing better, and then they start letting some other people go and then letting the new people in. So I have seen that. But I've never seen like multiple divisions just get cut by like 50%, 25%, 100% wiped, all that kind of stuff. And that happens in pharma all the time. So when you're, trying to decide whether you want to go device or pharma, you have to think about, like, on that pharma side, that is how things can go. Plenty of times I've talked to so many different people where they have cut entire divisions like overnight, and now you're stuck looking for a job, and maybe you've only been in that role for like 8 months or something, which at least in the pharma side is understandable when you're interviewing. Like when you start interviewing and you're looking for another role, it's not as if like, hey, why were you only here for 8 months? Oh, they cut that division. Oh, okay, cool. So let's get on to the next experience that you have over here. It's a lot, like they understand, and it's a lot more simple. I've never been a part of it, but that's my understanding, is that they understand, because it happens all the time. Whereas like in device, if you were to leave something like 8 months in, they're going to be wondering what in the world is going on, because why were you somewhere for 8 months and now you're not there anymore? Like, did you suck? Did you get let go? And more times than not, you either got fired or you're leaving, because it takes a lot longer than 8 months, in my opinion, especially if you started somewhere, to, get fired through a PIP. And so I don't know. But regardless, that's another, insight for you guys that are wondering whether you should go pharma or device. In pharma, yeah, you're going to have that better work-life balance, but at the same time, too, it's kind of stressful. And wondering whether you're going to have a job still if the division as a whole isn't doing too good. Because if you're like just doing okay for the most part, most companies, they just keep you. But if the entire division in general is not doing great, like there are going to be the winners that are doing really well in the division, but just like in general, that product is not selling or something like that, it's just not making as much money as they thought, they're just going to, chop heads. So keep that in mind. But hopefully, this little randomness of what's going on in this world of mine, just gave you guys some more insight into this field, this realm. But the biggest takeaways, don't sleep on yourself. Get some sleep, but don't sleep on yourself. Make sure that you get your resume updated. Network, which is like the number one thing that I always tell you guys. Third is don't take your foot off the pedal. Like, huge. Those are huge things that you should not do during times of uncertainty, because if you get to stay, now you know what happens. And if you don't get to stay, then you're prepared for it. So always be prepared, wear a condom, things like that. Till the next one, guys.